Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the Koppel Chevrolet GMC studios. Here is your host, Derek Pearson. Presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We are going to have Jay Foreman in the studio with us for this first segment. We have Kobe Webster, Husker basketball. We appreciate him making time for us. 402-464-5685, Starter Heyman text line, and the Honda Lincoln hotline. You can follow live on the video stream. Get to it. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Do that. Chat rooms are open. Let's bring in point guard. And look, I think behind the scenes, a more important piece of the roster than given credit, because you are a peacekeeper and a placekeeper on this team. And I think that is a part of why I'm excited about having this conversation with you. Let's bring in Kobe Webster. Kind sir, how are you this morning?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you doing? It's been a minute.
Well,
but,
you know, y'all are back Thursday.
Yep.
Y'all are back Thursday. You figure out with Buzzy what the
sure,
rotation's
sure.
going to be.
I was just talking to CJ about it on the way here.
Yeah.
So, we're going to be back.
To get in, it's got to be difficult, because I know how much you love the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives me faith that because you're a student of the game, you're constantly searching for ways to get better and to make things better, not only for yourself and for everybody.
Sure.
Let's go through last night first, right? You guys were familiar with the Hoosiers. You knew what they were going to run coming out. What was the attack point? What was the thing that you thought? What was the offensive focus? Top of the list. How were you going to approach this thing?
We had to play with a lot more pace in the half court. I think when we get out in transition, we're pretty good. But when a team scores, we needed to, make sure that we were cutting with pace, screening bodies, not just going through the motions. Because they're just every team is in the Big Ten. Defensively, everybody's physical. They have 7-footers at the rim, guards that like to get up into you. Whether it's full court or they're meeting you at half court. So I think cutting with pace, making sure we were starting our offense, around the 3-point line, not getting pushed out. I think that was the big key for us. And then defensively, it was obviously just trying to keep Trace Jackson Davis from doing what he does.
Do you guys ever go into a game and think like, all right, Trace is going to get off, but then let's pluck this guy off? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You ever say like, okay, we understand. We ain't gonna let him score 40, but we're gonna we got a high and low that we're gonna get him, but we're gonna get that guy and get him kind of, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think recently, especially playing against the bigs we play. I mean, Kofi Coburn, Zach Edey at Purdue, and then Trace
back to back.
Three games in a row. So I think that's sort of something we've done in those 3 games by letting Derek Walker and Eduardo play one-on-one more in the post instead of going double, because we found when we went doubled against Ohio State, E.J. Liddell, that's when, I forget his name, he had 35. He ain't
had over 13 before that, right?
Literally. So I think he had 0 the game before. So it was just like when you give guys rhythm threes, that confidence can come back to bite you, even if they're someone like that when they aren't really a scorer. But
because everybody gonna be able to hit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Big Ten basketball, you can hit an open shot, and if you get a couple of them, now you're on a roll, and it's hard to stop that. So I think that's kind of been our game plan the past few games, just trying to just stay solid with the bigs down there, understanding that, it might be a little bit of a mismatch in terms of the height, but we also know we got Derek on the other end who can defend them, but also he can make them work on the offensive end too, which he's done a great job of. So
on a night like last night, with the enhanced focus on Derek offensively, He gets 3 shot attempts.
Mm-hmm.
How does that happen?
There's a lot that goes into that. I would say, just everybody has his nights. I talked to Derek, and he sent a text, and we kind of talked before the game about some stuff, but I think it's just one of those nights. We obviously have been going through him a lot more in recent games. I think last night it was just I don't know. He didn't really get a whole lot of plays called for him, but that's something I think being close in the game kind of played a part in that, because a lot of times when teams go on runs, we slow the ball down and okay, we're going to get Derek a touch. And we're going to play through Derek, because we know Derek not only can score and make that big work, but he's going to find an open man. He's going to come set a screen. He's going to get a handoff, whatever the case may be. And so Indiana didn't really go on a huge run like we've seen. And so that could have played a little bit of a role in that. But I definitely, with the dude shooting whatever it is from 70, whatever from the field, it's we got.
He's awful efficient.
Yeah,
and he's effective around the rim.
Yeah, his touch, his footwork, and being somewhat undersized against a lot of bigs we've played, to be shooting 70+% from the field, we gotta play through him. Why not?
Right, yeah, for sure. One thing I wanted to ask, because I was at the game. The way I felt like the way the game was called made the game, and you know more because you were there, and both playing, and obviously when you're watching, it felt like the refs made the game kind of junky.
It was very slow,
right?
It was
you could
very
never
slow game. Yeah,
it wasn't never getting a sweat. But they always were calling. Everybody was watching, what call are you calling?
Yeah,
then they kept having to go do that. How
kept
do you guys be able to?
Right. Yeah.
How do you guys? You can't practice for that,
right?
But how do you maybe adjust your mindset to the way that they're calling these games? Because it affected, I think, us as Nebraska more than it affected Indiana. One, because they had the lead, but then two, once it seemed like once we kind of got in a rhythm, then it'd be like, okay, now we got a 2-minute break or something like that. So how do you try to adjust that as an athlete?
For me, I would just, huddling up is a big thing. That's something that coach has been preaching for since the beginning of the season, whether it's on a free throw, dead ball, whatever, and just continuing to talk. I think it's easy during those stoppages to lose the energy, to lose your vibe, man, come on, whatever. So I think, huddling up, bringing guys over to the bench, talking out, all right, what happened on this play?
Right.
What play are we running, next time on offense? What can we do to stop this? To stop Trace from going left, just little stuff like that, just keeping guys engaged. And that's sort of, for me, I guess I've kind of embraced that role of just, like I said, observing, making sure I know the game plan. I think when I'm on the bench, I know their play. I know their plays just from, working against our scout team and understanding coverage and stuff like that. So it's making sure guys are engaged, not only on offense, but defensively.
Sure.
So I think just keeping that talk up is the biggest thing during those stoppages.
You mentioned being undersized, and Jay and I have talked about it several times. Rico's brought it up in his show as well. What's the possibility or the thinking that may be running Eduardo and Derek together some of those times? Has that ever been worked? Has that ever been run at practice? Has that ever happened?
A little bit. But that was really just when Will got hurt. And so it kind of just had to happen for the sake of practice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if the coaches have talked about that or thought about it or whatever, but I mean, why not?
Well, the other
we're
day,
here now, so
we're
gonna keep it real. Why not?
Right.
But like I said, I don't know if that's something that's been discussed. I know that coach likes having obviously 4 shooters on the court. So that may be, part of the reason that he doesn't want to do that. But for me, it's why not? I mean, try something.
Right. I wanted to ask, as a leader on the team, like you and Trey, when you have and I've played with football players like this, so I think Eduardo Andre has a ton of potential, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then you just need I don't know, I hate the maturity,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
to
yeah.
come with it.
Yep.
What?
That's what it is.
But I don't, because people will hear it and be like thinking like, oh, you're dogging them, but just people mature at
Yeah.
different rates, right? So
Yep,
you're very mature. You've been through some battles. You're just more mature. And I always say there's a maturity where they come in. If you meet Eduardo, he'll be, yes, sir, no, ma'am.
Mhm.
But I always think there's a sports and athletic maturity, right? Which is every single day being consistent.
Yep.
What's your job? Because I know you see some of the things I see, and you see it way more than I do, right?
Right.
Both good and bad.
Yep.
But I'm focusing on the things that you see that could be like, man, if he could do that every single game, you know how much better, that would add.
Yeah.
What is your job as a leader to try to get that to be more consistent? Because if he's more consistent, then
for sure.
it's better for everybody.
Sure. I think for me, it's just talking to him. He's on, he's with the second group.
Right.
And so he's with me
Sure.
Majority of the time in practice. And so, I mean, I talk to him both on the court and outside of practice just about, being mentally like you have the physical ability.
Yeah.
You have it. I promise you do.
Right.
I've seen you work out. I've seen what you are capable of in a scrimmage, in a game. But like you said, being consistent, I think just talking to him, and a lot of people may not know this, but he didn't start playing basketball.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
14, 15 years old.
The lack of experience,
and so
too.
it's like you can get on him, but it's like you gotta
be realistic too.
Yeah, you gotta understand, like, okay, he's been playing basketball for like 6 years.
Right, that's
maybe,
it. Yeah.
Not even. And
he's
so
still learning stuff you learned back in club basketball.
Exactly.
Right?
I know a lot of stuff. And so, but the thing with him is there's I guess a respect level between me and him. And this kind of started, I think I kind of got his respect 2 summers ago when he first 2 summers ago when he first got here.
Right.
I kind of humbled him.
Right.
He came in, he was talking crazy. We were playing like 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. He can attest to this. I'm not just out here talking. He and like I was like, he was on the other team and I was giving him the business. Like, and I'm talking crazy. Like, I'm like, dude, like, trust me, I've been here. I know. I trust you. You knew this. Like, and so I think that's sort of where it started. But there's just a respect level, in terms of if I'm coming off the pick and roll, I'm like, Eduardo, set it here, and then roll, or stop right here in the pocket so I can get it to you, or make sure you're on balance when you just little stuff like things, that. And Coach Nate, Coach Gates, all the coaches do a great job working with him on his footwork, on his touch around the rim. And so when I'm watching, I try to pick up the same sort of sayings or phrases that they use.
Keep it consistent.
And so when he hears it, it's basically just re-emphasizing what you just worked on for 30, 45 minutes. And so I think for me, that's just and he's, like I said, he's young. He's gonna be good.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm excited for him, really.
We're talking to Kobe Webster, Husker basketball. We've talked about lineups and a way that some coaches and some programs will change the motivation, ambition, attitude of its squad as a change of starting lineup. We've pondered what happens in keeping the second group together. There's value in keeping the second group together, but also we're also aware the offense runs differently when you're in the game. How much of that is because you sit and watch with the sole purpose of knowing what a team does so that you can get out on the floor and, one, communicate it, but two, be able to effectively do the things that are required for you to be successful?
I would say it's not a huge part. It's definitely a small part, but I think for me, the days before a game, like, we go over scouting report, we watch film, we have a scout team that runs their plays. So for me, it's like if I were starting, I would like it would be the same thing. I'm not out there to score. I'm not out there to impress nobody. I'm not out there to do nothing but win the game. And so if that means me going in the game and getting a bunch of buckets in a row like I did against Creighton, okay. If that means me going in and getting 2 quick assists like I did last night and bringing us and getting somebody else going, I'm out there to win. That's the sole purpose. And so for me, being on the bench, I think it does give me a little bit of, the vibe of the game. When I do get in, okay, do we need to slow down? Do we need to pick up the pace? Do we need to whatever? But I also feel like, when I'm starting to come off the bench, I know exactly what the other team's doing. I've been around way too long to not pick up on, okay, when he passed the ball this way, he gonna cut through this way, he getting a back screen. I know all that. And I really study those scouting reports. I know who can shoot. I know who I can close out short to, whatever the case may be. So it definitely plays a part. Being able to observe the game helps, but I think either way, I'm good.
Yeah, I think it's important. And always, we were talking earlier, I always kind of watch the interactions, TV timeouts or whatever. I always try to tell people, whether you're playing basketball or football, you always, because when you're in the moment, when you're out there playing, I know like when I was out there playing, like maybe I'm seeing something, maybe because sometimes I think you kind of condition yourself, this is what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
But you always got to have somebody there that's your set of eyes to be like, hey, hey, they're hedging really, really hard. And then I might not be thinking they are.
Right.
Well, then if they're hedging really hard, then you got to be looking, maybe to the left pocket or whatever, because that's open right away because the other rotation is a little slow.
Yep.
So I think it's really good that you take that, that role, because I think even towards the end of last year, the way that you played towards the end of the season, I wanted to ask, like, how hard has it been? I know you had the injury to start out the season, but now that when you come in the game, and I'm a big proponent of when you play point guard or quarterback, you got to play the position first, versus playing basketball. And people don't understand that. You know what I'm saying?
I've never heard anybody say that hit right there.
Right, because at the end of the day, if you ain't playing them positions, it's just like you ain't got no engine in your car. You up there rolling, you ain't with no ain't no metro, ain't no petrol in my metro.
Nothing.
You know what I'm saying? So how hard is it for you to? Because sometimes I think things, and then you're like, man, I wish. Because sometimes people just don't think like you do, and then you're like, man, if you only would think this way, then it would be a lot easier. You know what I'm saying? Has that been a little bit hard for you?
A little bit. I think with the new roster, it's definitely tough to just
jump into it. That's what people don't understand, man.
So it's definitely tough. And like you said, the way I played the end of the season last year, that gave me like the utmost confidence,
right.
And especially after going through like a little lull where I did. And so I feel like I got my swagger back in those moments last season. But this year it's just been like I go out there to win.
Right.
And so, if we're down 15 or whatever, okay, I gotta find a way to get us within 4, 5, whatever. And so it's definitely a little tough trying to reiterate different stuff or whatever, just because people are wired different, and so but like I said, I think talking to guys and not only talking negatively, but letting dudes know when they did something good. If you made a good pass, I'm gonna let you know that too, but I'm also let you know if you missed this block out. And so, but I think re-emphasizing all the good also helps in, okay, he gonna do it again because I told him that was a good pass, or I told him that was a good play, whatever. And so I think just talking to guys and embracing that leadership role is what has really kept me mentally I guess locked in.
Talk about, like, I always say about this basketball team and the football team, that they kind of go like parallel, right? Whereas people look on paper like, oh, you got a veteran team, but I was like, man, they're inexperienced because you haven't played together. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't think the everyday fan that's never, and I've been blessed enough to be in situations like that. You too. Just explain the difference, because being a veteran team and been together for say like 2 seasons, right? Versus just kind of, all right, we just got together and then now we're about to play. It's one thing to kind of go through workouts, but another thing you were playing through the Big Ten grind. Just explain the difference, because I don't think people really understand the difference between being experienced on, say, like paper or experience of being together, traveling together, eating together, knowing if, say me and your teammates, Jay, I can see Jay just ain't in the mood today. I can mess with him today, or his shot's off, or I could talk to him about his shot, or just let him be. That's just experience.
That's it.
And it's not months. It's actually
that's gotta
years.
be. I think so the difference I would say is between having, you kind of touched on it, like having an experienced team, which we do, is having individuals who have been around college basketball for a long time. People like me, like Derek, Trey, Lat, Alonzo, like guys like that who have been in situations. Like you said, we haven't been in those situations together.
Right.
And so I think Trey coming back last night me and him on the floor together, me and Lat on the floor, me and Derek on the floor together, we have that season on our belt where it's like, okay, I know what he's gonna. Yeah. So when I passed the ball, I told him shoot. I said shoot it, like step into. You've been working for 2 months, on this. Like I literally watched you in the gym. You ain't been trying to dunk and all that. No, you've been working on your shot. I've watched you make that shot 100+ times in a workout. I know you've made it plenty more than that I haven't seen. Shoot it. Yeah. And so it's like little stuff like that. Like, and obviously, I mean, me, Lat, and Trey all roomed together last year. So that combination is always gonna connection is always gonna be there. But even with guys like CJ, who I haven't been with him for a long time, we have a radio show together. Like, I'm with this dude. If you see one of us, you're bound to see the other one, you know. And so that connection is always there. And whether we're on the court together or not, like there's always an interaction. If he's on the court, if he, missed a shot, I'm in his ear, like next one, whatever. And so having that is always appreciated, always good for a team because it makes things easy. Right. Like you said, when to get on somebody, okay, he not feeling today. Let me let him just chill, whatever. So we're getting there. And I mean,
it's a process, man.
Yeah, it is.
And it's hard when you're playing, in the Big Ten.
Exactly. It's no joke. You don't have no off night.
You ain't playing in the meatloaf league.
Exactly. You ain't got no off night. So
another one.
Yeah. So
here's a more important question, man. And this is the honest to God truth, man. Okay. I'm just gonna ask you just because the way I used to play basketball.
Here we go.
Y'all playing Ohio State next, right?
Yeah.
Okay. 32. I don't care if I got some NIL money. He comes down the lane. There's got to be somebody on this team, okay, that just accidentally places a forearm, elbow,
like Rico. We saw this coming, right? We saw this
upside his head because I'm gonna tell you why though. He thinks he Debo,
sir. They cannot do this.
Oh yes, you can because I'm gonna tell you this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. He thinks he's Debo. He really isn't though. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? And you know that, right?
Well, I seen it.
Right.
I seen how Derek.
Right. Because that's what he pickes and chooses who he's going to try to punk. But then when D Walker came over there, then all of a sudden now you want to be, hey man, now that's what I'm saying. You get what I mean? Now when I'm talking about, you gotta pick somebody off.
It gotta be.
You gotta let them know what type of party it is, right? Just like when old boy when he drove baseline and he tried to raise up last night after
you on your back.
Okay, yep.
Full disclosure.
Now your hip hurt.
Hey. Those were the opinions of Jay Foreman.
Hey,
the opinions and values. The opinions and values discussed by Jay Foreman do not represent 93.7.
Listen here, you're just not gonna come in here and just disrespect my teammate and think you're going to do it again.
Yeah, nah.
The best thing I liked about D Walk though, he did it. He knew it was a TV timeout. He walked right to the bench and somebody had it. Somebody had a seat for him. He just said, "Give me some water."
Yeah.
Hey, that's what it is.
It's all good. Yeah. Nah, I feel you though. I feel yeah.
Sometimes you got to do something that you normally don't do.
Establishing a presence.
Right.
Establishing that presence. Really just setting the tone.
Because you don't know who I learned it from. I learned this from Avery Johnson, and he was talking about playing against Hornacek and Stockton, and they run the pick and roll.
Yeah,
and he was asking, I forget who the veteran was at the time that he was playing behind, and he was like, "Man, I can't do it." I think he might have been asking Isaiah Thomas, and so Isaiah Thomas said, "Listen here, here's what you need to do against Jeff Hornacek. When he comes off that pick, you jacking with your foot. Now you can't do it now." Jacking with that forearm, and he'll never do it again. And Avery Johnson, he said, he probably wasn't. He was a rookie, probably wasn't thinking. He said he laid him down. He said for the rest of his career,
I'm good on that screen.
He was good on that screen, and that sometimes you got to do that.
Yeah, no, I learned it from Kobe Bryant. When he played T-Mac, I guess T-Mac had like a small a back injury, a little like early in the season.
Yep.
When T-Mac, I guess went up for. I'm trying to think. It was went up for a rebound. T-Mac landed. Kobe
Yep. Yeah, I remember hearing this story.
In the elbow, or in his back, elbow in his back. And T-Mac stiffened up and walked over to the bench. And Kobe was like, "Yeah, all right, now they best player going."
I'll tell you what, when I used to see somebody with an injury, oh yeah. I'll never forget this. I was a rookie or second year. I was playing with Sam Gash. and we were playing against Zach Thomas, who should be a Hall of Fame linebacker. He was playing with the Dolphins at the time. And back then, they didn't have concussion protocol.
Right, yeah.
You get knocked out, you get smelling salt, you back in there. But I guess Zach had a bad one, right?
Yeah.
And so we were getting ready for the game, and we used to call Sam Big Cuz, and he would actually play football with a big old dip in his mouth, and he had this big old neck brace, and he was just like breathing heavy. I was like, "What's up, Big Cuz?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got to take him out by the second quarter," and I'm like, "What you mean?" He's like, "Yeah, he got a concussion." He's like, "He's gonna be asleep by the second quarter when I got there." Yo. So I'm like, I told one of my linebackers, I said, "Yo, Big Cuz said he got a takeout order, right?" We looking out there. He came through on this first ISO and he raised up like it was like you ever see two Rams. Yeah. He hit this dude, bam. Hey, talking about Zach Thomas sleep for real. And I'm like, dude, but it was just the mindset you had. And now you don't want to ever hurt anybody.
We not out here trying to hurt
game. I gotta watch it different.
But the whole point of it is
it's a mental thing.
It's a mental thing.
It's letting somebody know,
right?
Like, I'm here.
I'm
here.
Not
about to, yeah.
And there is no easy way that you're gonna get anything.
Fred in his office right now writing letters.
He's like, son of a.
Any chance that I was gonna get to come to practice is done.
It's done.
Hey, I've been asking Buzzy. And Buzzy must have heard like when we said the other time, he's like, "Yeah, we gotta keep him away." Because I'm talking about, hey, I'm coming out. I told you what they said that when I told them to run out the stadium with the baseball bat. They're like, "Listen here, you
can't do it.
Way too far.
Hey,
can't do
okay, we got all these little donors and kids around here.
Any questionable anything that happens against Ohio State can be like, damn it, Jay Foreman.
Facts. They gonna be like, it was him.
Well, we appreciate the first. Jay, appreciate you.
Yeah, man, I gotta get out of here before you get in trouble. He clotheslining Virgin practice.
They all coming out.
Just like us for you, Jay.
Yeah, they all coming out to wrestling music, man. They're all coming out. All right, we'll throw the break. More one-on-one with Kobe Webster when we come back.
Cats start showing up.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Herrick Services in Lincoln reminds us this winter to drive safe. Snow and black ice can pull your feet out from under you and put your car in a tailspin. In 2022, watch your speed, watch your step, and save those text messages for when it's not going to cause an accident. This safety message from Bart, Mike, and the folks at Herrick Services, your vending and snow removal specialists here in Lincoln. Visit them on the web at herrickservices.net. Herrick Services, wishing all a safe and healthy winter season.
Working at Continental in Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljob.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
What are you doing, Sip?
I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course.
Oh, God. Ow. Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Hi, Sean Callahan here of HuskerOnline.com, inviting you to join us here on 93.7 The Ticket. Every Saturday morning now in our new time, we're on from 8 to 9 with the weekly Husker Online radio show. We'll give you the latest in recruiting. We'll talk about what's going on with both football, basketball, and we'll probably share a few stories from the inside. It's every Saturday morning right here on 93.7 The Ticket. It's the Husker Online radio show from 8 to 9 a.m.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
I'm Jenny Benson. I taught for 32 years. Educators are used to the challenges of a typical school year, but the last year plus was far from typical. Yet everyone leaned in and found creative ways to adapt, innovate, and persevere. Behind each student were resourceful families and dedicated educators who reached out with open arms of support. Because of all the ways we work together, our students continued to learn, grow, and thrive.
Sponsored by the Nebraska State Education Association, aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and the station.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric always makes safety a top priority for our home and office. In under just 1 hour, their team installed the state-of-the-art air scrubber system directly into our existing HVAC ductwork. This technology purifies the air and reduces exposure to common bacteria and viruses, creating a safer breathing environment for my family. Action delivers honest quality services we can count on. To learn more, visit actionlincoln.com.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Is your furnace or heat pump ready for winter? Call Bryant to schedule your home heating check. Comfortable, safe, efficient. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing, 467-1111.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 330 North 48th Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in Westell, and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
You're listening to One-on-One with DP, presented by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We played this for Kobe. It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
It's the vibe.
A lot of the conversation about Husker basketball, there are basic topics that keep coming up. So I will be the messenger. Do not shoot the messenger. But I also know you and I work from this space that do I have permission to tell you the truth?
Yeah.
So working from that, Kobe, you have permission, our permission to tell us the truth. Let basketball fans and Husker fans know what you know. And I asked the question that topic one for Husker basketball fans is, why can't this team rebound on the defensive end? Why can't this team keep teams off the offensive boards? What say you?
Doing stuff like that is a mentality, first and foremost. Like Dennis Rodman, prime example. That's just a mentality. Like, I want the ball more than the next guy. And right now, like, it's like grit. We don't have the grit. Like, we don't. And the thing, when we do it, we look good, right? Like, we get the ball, we get it out in transition, we hit threes, we get dunks, whatever. But it's like we don't do it consistent. And so when it's like half speed or, not necessarily a focus point in practice, then we get in the game and wonder why. Like when we're in drill, we've done drills, when in practice we have to box out or whatever, but there's not a whole lot of consequence. There's not, there's not a lot of pace when we do it. Like, it's almost like stationary. Like,
that's the word, stationary.
Yeah. Versus a team moving, a shot goes up, and now we got to find our man box out. Like, it's easy to sit and, you feel me, and look at who you're about to box out and go box them out. And the thing is that it's still, we sometimes mess that up. Like, so it's like, and I'm not on here to, say,
this is just conversation.
Don't worry about it, but whatever. But like, it's just like that's just the truth. It's like how can you expect someone to go box out when it's not? It can be an emphasis or a key point on the film and stuff like that, but we don't. I feel like we don't emphasize a whole lot in practice.
Okay.
In the physical part of the
So
game.
when you're on the floor, what's the likelihood of you hitting once the horn sounds and you get up? That there are priorities and focuses for why you were put in the game. So usually Hoiberg will look down and say, "Hey, Kobe, go get me this."
Mm-hmm.
As a part of your leadership, what's the likelihood of your saying, "Okay, 5 to the boards"?
Mm-hmm. I mean, for me, it's like like we already discussed, like being on a bench, you observe, right? You see, you pick different parts of the game where like, okay, we need to get better at this, this, and this. Stop turning the ball over, stop doing this or whatever. And so for me, when I go in the game, whenever we huddle up at the free throw line, it's like it's at 2 or 3 quick points. Like, all right, we got to keep him off the glass. And that's usually like always a point because it always happens.
Like to understand that at 0-8 in this conference, that 4 of those can be directly attributed to the constant inability to focus on defensive boards. Like I don't care how you do defensively on the first presses because that's a personal thing.
Yeah.
Right? That all 5 have to make a commitment to doing their job. But rebound, I'm not worried about getting in transition.
No, you can't get in transition. You don't got the ball.
Like that base premise.
And that I think that's
the run out and the sitting and watching and waiting for somebody else to do the thing that needs to be done.
Yeah. Now, I mean, for me personally, it's like like I said, I sit and I observe, I pick parts of the game that we need to. And so when I go in the game, like Jay said, I play my position before I just go out and hoop. So if I know we're not rebounding, I'm gonna make sure my dude not gonna get the ball. If they shoot and they miss, my dude not getting the ball. So I'm not worried. I'm not even worried about me getting a rebound. I'm gonna make sure he is not gonna touch the ball. If I have to face him and look like a defensive back, like I'm
little league and just go.
I'm gonna be a cornerback real quick, and I'm gonna literally guard him as if he's a wide receiver trying to get a pass.
But can we change that or adapt that to not only is he not getting it, but I need it? It's my ball until somebody else on my team has it.
Literally, that's it's like I said, it's a mindset.
If that's not a competitive aspect of practices on a regular basis, it is a missed opportunity.
Yeah,
it's a missed opportunity.
I agree.
You guys have stepped up when it comes to free throws. It's better than it has been because of the amount of work that's been put into it. Your 3-point shooting has become more effective. Why? More work, more attention paid to it. For you, as you come off the bench and you see what you see, shared IQ is something I talk to the team about.
Mm-hmm.
That what you see has to be known not only by you, but by the coaches and by the guys you're on the floor with.
Mm-hmm.
It has to be shared with the guys on the bench when it happens so that it is a coachable moment taken to the floor. How, going forward, how do you process getting your information to your teammates?
I think huddles are a big part of that. I think, and before the game, I think it obviously starts in practice. The and not even just the physical. We have the physical ability to do everything we need to do to win games.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental aspect. It's like having pride in or getting upset when your man scores.
Oh,
like or getting upset when you give up a blockout or offensive rebound.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that hit me to my core.
So it's like it's like having that pride in practice and understanding that how you that's gonna be how you play.
That hits me to my core.
And so it's like I don't know.
Is there somebody? Well, no, but you mentioned Rodman and saying that Rodman made a choice, a consistent choice, to do the thing that nobody else wanted to do or found sexy. And he made it sexy to defend and rebound like nobody else on the floor ever. At some point, I would hope that somebody looking for minutes on this team would make that their thing. Like Eduardo, like, hey, bruh. Bruh. Like, and when you meet Eduardo, the first thing that comes out, okay, first of all, he's super intelligent. He's funny to a fault.
Yes.
Like,
yeah. Like, yeah, bro. Like, stop playing all the time. Stop.
Like, you try.
That's part of that maturity.
No, but that's the thing, right? The little things, and you just go, this dude is brilliant.
He could, man. He I'm not gonna say he could. He's gonna be
right.
He good. He's gonna be
like he's too smart and too funny to be bad, because then he has to laugh at himself and he doesn't like it. Like he
yeah. He's had a couple of, dang it. Like I said, man, he's gonna be Ed is gonna be he's gonna be that.
If we said, okay, you're now Coach Kobe, okay, what's the thing that you say at practice tomorrow that helps redirect, reassign? Remember we talked about reboot, recharge, recalculate. Like, right?
I'm Coach. There's gonna be some rebooting, all right. Nah, man.
Right, like, because
hold on, DP done put me on the spot.
No,
a boot. A boot, and
no, because we talked about it. We said that the GPS doesn't lie.
Yeah.
And the GPS is saying this does not appear to be a winning process. Right? Like,
I'm laughing because like there's a lot of thoughts flowing that I probably, we off record we can discuss.
You gotta be careful now.
No. But I'm asking for the positive, simple things that you can put into that space to get the things fixed that need to be fixed.
I'll say one thing.
Okay.
And you're not even gonna expect it.
Okay.
Clean up your locker.
Who
That's
we?
I'll leave it at that.
That is a deep Coach DP-ism. That is a thing. Oh,
that is a simple one that people forget.
And not to say our locker room be
no
wild and not like, but
you got to care about it.
No, yeah,
you have to care about the little stuff, because it always shows up in the big stuff.
And you being a football guy, DC bought Ed Reed. Learned that from Ed Reed.
Yeah. Like, that, look, in the reality, how you take care of this thing defines how you feel about it. If it matters, then you have to do the small stuff.
And I'm not gonna say it starts there, but that's like a root. That's just a individual moral like thing that you had, like a behavior, a habit that you should have. Like,
I'll ask you this question. We'll throw the break, and I'll let you answer it when we come back. But I'm going to ask you this question and give you time to ponder it. Does this team care enough to get it right? We'll have you answer that when we come back to 101.
For sure.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One on One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What are you doing, Sip? I thought the chickens could use some more light in their lives.
So you're building what exactly?
It's a motion-censored switchboard. Duh.
Are you sure you know what you're doing?
Of course. Ow! God!
Ow! Seems like a job for a professional.
Just one more wire. Yep, there you go, right there.
Don't be like Sip. Call Joe at Ambition Electric for any of your electric needs at 402-217-3415.
Hi, welcome to Big Chain Bar and Grill. Can I get you a drink? Which game were you hoping to see? Doesn't matter. I don't know what channel the game's on anyway. Are you ready to order? Okay, here's your check. Come back and see us again, okay?
What?
Hey, welcome back into Upside.
Slow down and enjoy the game at the Upside Bar and Lounge. Comfortable seating, plenty of screens, a great food and drink menu, and no one trying to shove you out the door. Come in, hang out, and take it all in at the Upside Bar and Lounge, open daily just east of 27th and Pine Lake.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Working at Continental of Lincoln isn't a job, it's a career. And right now, they're hiring for production operators at $21.72 an hour and other select jobs starting at $23.42 an hour, with wages growing up to $27.55 an hour. Continental also has salary jobs available with great benefits, plus medical and prescription costs at very low premiums. Dental, vision, and life insurance are offered at no premium cost to the associates. To learn more or apply, go to continentaljobs.com with keyword Lincoln. Come work at Continental today.
Casey's General Store is giving you the chance at winning 2 free tickets to a Nebraska home basketball game this season. Stop by any Casey's location in Lincoln throughout basketball season. Enter your name into the registration box, and you'll have a chance to win 2 tickets to an upcoming Nebraska basketball game. Every drawing will occur at least 24 hours before the game that has its selected winner. So make sure to get to any Casey's in Lincoln today for your chance at 2 free tickets for Nebraska men's basketball games.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
An incredibly mild Tuesday on the way. We'll top out near 59 with west winds at around 10 to 15. But a strong cold front will move through the area tonight, increasing cloud cover, a low down to 13, and only a high of 17 tomorrow, with a north wind gusting over 20. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At first, I was really nervous and intimidated to buy a ring. I wasn't sure what I was getting into.
My experience at Starter Heyman was very easy. I felt like I walked out of Starter Heyman with the ring that was going to make her go wow and say yes.
I love my ring. It is so beautiful. I absolutely love my ring. I get compliments on it all the time. I always tell them Starter Heyman. Yeah, we would definitely recommend Starter Heyman.
Yeah, it was great. We're definitely coming back.
Sure. Sauter Heyman Jewelers, Lincoln and Grand Island. SauterHeyman.com.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
In every office, there's 2 types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too, and that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. But our part-time service in the Army National Guard means we get to be more. When our communities are in need, we get the chance to stand up and do something about it. We get to serve in our own region and help the people we call neighbors. Whether they are in the mountains of New Mexico, the plains of Nebraska and Kansas, the ranches of Oklahoma and Texas, the farmlands of Missouri and Arkansas, or the bayous of Louisiana, we are here for our hometowns. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Nebraska Army National Guard. Aired by the Nebraska Broadcasters Association at this station.
Now what do? Football is over. The weather's crappy. Man, I tell you what, it's a perfect time to go car shopping. This is Carl from Price Right Auto. Come out to Price Right in Westville and you'll find over 100 great vehicles at some great prices. With our non-commissioned sales process, we let you control the sale. We won't let you get a lemon since we back every one of our vehicles with our peace of mind 3-month warranty. If you want a hassle-free car buying experience, check out our website, PriceRightAuto.com. Come see a great selection of affordable used cars on West O Street at Price Right Auto.
You're listening to One on One with DP, brought to you by Beatrice Bakery on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Good vibes this morning.
Gotta get that new edition.
In the building. I don't even got to. Is this thing on? Is this thing on? We got Husker basketball in the building. Huh?
I had to put.
What?
I had to put
Your mic
you
is
two
on,
together.
but I'm about to turn it off.
I had to put you two together because we can change the space by having the individual greatnesses united. The way you process this game that you care about and love, and then the way that you've started to feel about Nebraska as your second family, is necessary to have this dude and his energy match.
Yeah.
There are things that you guys can learn from them. There are things they can pass along to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you the question before. I'll let you answer it now, kind sir.
Go ahead. Repeat the
What
question for the folks.
Rico, give him the question as it was appropriately asked.
I'm trying to think of the question.
Oh, come on, Rico.
Come on.
Well, it was does the team care enough to change?
There it is. This is how I know he pays attention. See, this is how I know you have a leader and a cerebral assassin, is that he paid attention to the detail along the way.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He picked it up, he held it, and it processed. Now, does this team care enough to change and get better?
Let me.
Right?
He's
Shake
sweating.
it out. Shake it out.
Come on, K. Webb. You sweating over there?
Loosen up.
Sweat. Never that. Up to this point, it may not look like it.
Fair. Okay.
But yes. I think honestly, once we set aside our individual agendas,
we greater than me,
that is gonna be when the thing starts flowing. And honestly, we've been there. Like we took Ohio State to overtime. You know,
there are 3 games that a free throw in the final 30 seconds changes this
That's
conversation. But that didn't happen.
right.
So
I think we've seen it. We've kind of like just teeter-tottered the fence. And like I've been saying it since the beginning. Like once you get one, just one. Once you get one in the Big Ten, you like. It's like, all right.
You're carrying the gorilla, man.
You know, it's like.
Let me interject and ask a question
whatever you want,
to Mr. K. Webb. How hard do you guys work at the small things in practice?
We
was
like, now before you got in here, we were just talking.
I was listening.
Oh, okay,
but see, I'm hitting you from a different perspective
you want to,
now.
Okay.
Because I said, how hard do you guys work at the small things? You get what I'm asking you?
I know exactly what you said.
At practice, and when someone's not working at the small things in practice, who's the guy? Who's the guy? No, not just held accountable, because somebody's got to hold him accountable. But who's the guy on the team that be like, "What's up, bro? What's up, Rico?
What's up?
You know what I'm saying? That ain't gonna work, bro.
What you got going on?
I'm gonna need you to box out next time.
Yeah.
I know,
Remember we was just in that series, and you didn't box out, and somebody got a rebound over
Yes,
you.
sir.
Well, I'm gonna need you to box out.
Right,
you know why? Because I'm sick of losing.
All right.
And the only how we're gonna win is we got to do everything 150%. The ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of basketball.
Now,
Woo!
All right, now you see how like dope that conversation was.
Yeah,
that don't happen.
I'm
not just
answer the question first, and then we're going somewhere.
Repeat the question.
Okay. How hard do you guys work at the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of basketball?
And 1, 2, 3s.
And when
as
you
in
don't
boxing out,
as in boxing out.
Boxing out.
That's you learn that in the. When did you start playing basketball?
I'm getting old. I don't know.
Stop it. When did you start playing basketball? How old were you?
About
3 years old. When you start playing competitively, one of the first things you learned was to do what?
Box out.
Thank you. The one time I watched the game. And I'm gonna do better because I should be supporting my alma mater. No. You guys are my little brothers. We used to go to the basketball games. Like we supported our basketball brothers.
Yeah.
And now football don't necessarily support basketball. Basketball don't support football. When we came in, basketball players and football players did not get along. But my class was like, you know what I mean? I had Terrence Badgett.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I had Eric Strickland. I had Andre Woolridge. I had Jerron Boone. All those guys that I knew before I even started playing football.
Yeah.
So we start going to the basketball games, and you know what that energy did?
Yeah.
It started making them win.
Yeah.
They won the NIT while I was there. They went to the NCAA tournament. T. Lou, Mikey Moore, all those guys. So my question to you is, again, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s, how hard are you working on those in practice? And then when someone slacks on just those things, forget the play. Fundamentals.
Yeah.
Are we holding each other accountable, and who is that guy?
To answer the first question, not hard enough.
Okay.
Not emphasized enough. I'll leave it at that. Who is the guy? It's a weird dynamic. You know, they're trying to figure out how to say this without saying too much.
Well, don't listen. Don't answer the question.
No, I'm gonna answer.
Don't answer it.
The reason I asked you like how dope that conversation, y'all like that little whatever.
Yeah.
His reaction.
It
was okay. All right, you right. All right, like that.
Yeah.
Our reactions is not.
Oh, it's different.
It's not.
Man,
it's
don't
not.
talk to me, man.
Well, but
and the thing is, and I'll say this because
you ain't the boss of me.
Yeah.
Talk about dog.
Man, I know how to box out.
I'll say this because I've had this conversation with Coach, so this isn't no secret. But I told Coach, like, how can you expect another player? Like, he always talks about player-led teams.
Mm-hmm.
How can you expect another player to hold his teammate accountable if the coaches don't hold him accountable?
Listen,
but the thing is, no,
hold it right. No. Don't hold it right there.
Okay.
Hold on, there's one more.
But let me, here's why. We're gonna give the station ID, and then we'll flip it over to the captain show, and then you will give the second response.
Okay.
That's called the teasing radio, baby. The captain show's up next. Thanks for hanging out one-on-one. Kobe Webster, Rashard Jackson, Rico. We out.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet,